And a pleasant good morning to you from the Sports Money Network. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Sunday, September 22nd, NFL Sunday. We get ready for another big Sunday of action. At least we split up the games here a little bit. We've got a doubleheader tomorrow in Monday Night Football, but don't cram 10 games into the Deco box or whatever Hanson's talking about. Nobody wants a Deco box on NFL Sunday, but well, we have what do we have? A Septo box here today with our game. So get ready for the card. I've got a premium card out right now already. If you want to get my top plays for the day, I'm locked and loaded with my plays over on the Winnable app, and we'll get ready to give you some free plays here as well. I'm hopefully going to knock some down. Couldn't get anything rolling too much there in college football yesterday with some up and down results. Definitely did the job overnight here in tennis. Like I said, I guess I'm on a roll here in tennis this week. I'm really enjoying the Asian swing. I think we put down a winning card each night here this week, and we've sent it out there on the free package. So please subscribe over there. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. There's action underway right now. I'm here watching Nottingham Forest and Brighton. You see the score right there, the 0-0 here in the first half. And yeah, I got to think Brighton can take care of this. If you want to play along, let's take Brighton here. I like them to win this one over Nottingham Forest. Action underway. And I'm trying to bring home one more tennis winner. We had some strong plays last night in tennis with Kachmazov, and also we had man, did we ever have Beatriz Haddad-Maia. Was she just terrific? Yeah, Kasatkina shut it down, and she was lost all interest like often she does, but BHM was just toying with her, it felt like, there in the third set, egging her on to make the wrong play, if you will, and BHM won that title. That was awesome. I enjoyed that. That's what I enjoy in the middle of the night. The neighbors are kind of concerned. They hear the noises, but I'm just watching women's tennis, and maybe I'm turning it up a little bit when Beatriz Haddad-Maia is scoring us a nice victory. Man, that was fun. We also had Shramkova. Does Shramkova have the most beautiful ball toss in all of, man, I mean, she's kind of new to the scene a little bit for some players, but man, she is just, her ball toss, I got to tell you, I love it. All right. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you guys are getting that little preemptive news there as well from ESPN. I don't know. I set maybe they send me some goofball notifications now and then, but Asia Wilson, as expected, named MVP here just moments ago, sending it out right now. A little bit of breaking news. Asia Wilson, the Aces star, wins her second straight MVP award. We're going to be on tonight. Nottingham Forest just scored here to kind of ruin my morning here already. What's going on now? And Bublik's in a real battle too. But nonetheless, we'll talk about WNBA playoff action, 4 games here, and we're all set for the matchups today. And like I said, we're going right up against the NFL. Good call, WNBA. Maybe it is a good call. Putting the everyone's going to be in front of their TVs, right? So you don't have to make a special trip. I just thought they might want to go solo a little bit on the nights where the sports aren't as heavy here. So how about college football with Colorado? Yeah, we took Colorado. We took Colorado there yesterday. I don't know if you guys did. I did here on the show. But look, we can make a lot of fun of the whole Colorado situation. We can kind of, pick on sometimes the idiosyncrasies of the way Dion does business there a little bit, but really taking the program. You saw a little bit of, touching it up on X, even with some of the biggest names on social media, if you call them that. But what they've done at Colorado is pretty remarkable, really, when you're talking about, a program that was in the doldrums, certainly, with my guy coaching before, but what you got to do is create excitement in the days of the NIL here. And not to say that, maybe bad defense here and there. Maybe the team has some other issue. Oh, sweetheart, you okay? Is that going to bother anybody? I seem to be having a little hard drive. Honey, see if I can calm her down a little bit over here. I might need we got a win today. I might need a new hard drive. I might need a new laptop over here. This thing's been bothering me for months. Let's be serious here. So incredible performance. Let's just say it. What a game last night. Yeah, they ran on the field like they just won the World Series, but boy, it did feel like they deserved it when you win a game like that, pulling it off in the Hail Mary and then getting the incredible hit and the fumble. That was just pretty much awesome. So, say what you will. How about other big results yesterday? Tennessee smashing Oklahoma pretty much, really shutting down Oklahoma in the first half. I whiffed on that one side and total there. I'm not going to doubt the balls. Look, Nico's my man, no doubt about it. I just wanted to give Oklahoma a chance there, but good on Tennessee, and I'm liking what this program is doing right now. Yeah, they beat Kent 71-0. They beat NC State by 40 points. They're looking good. How about JMU? There's one we called, right? With that total over in JMU in North Carolina. Hey, no college football game. They couldn't find one anyway that's ever finished with a 70-50 score. College scoregami a little bit different than NFL, but man, 53 points in the first half, and they were telling coach to resign at halftime. He said, I'm half kidding, but after the game, coach said he would not be resigning from his job. But man, what a situation there. 1,200 yards in that game, but when you have 5 turnovers, and how about Alonzo Barrett, really the star of the weekend, it feels like here. Well, Washington State and San Jose State, we nailed that one, certainly on the side with San Jose State. Seemed to be a pretty popular side last night, but that one was fun, man. You guys still might be awake from that one. Missouri, look, they can't all be great kickers, right? How about the kicker missing 2 in the fourth quarter there for Missouri, but they still got the win. And maybe Missouri, they're not a top 10 team here. It does feel like. Does that bother anybody, you guys? I need this computer. So big upsets there. We had the winner there, Buffalo, Northern Illinois. I believe we had the under in that one. We did have Navy over Memphis. Remember, I said against these two teams that have totally been going under, they'll easily go over when they match up. Stanford, of course, the other night as well. How about some of the other exciting matchups yesterday? What did you guys have? And let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Hard drive over here is bothering me a little bit, gang. Let me say hello, and we got a show we can get to here with NFL. Subhuman started us off with the under in this game. So, all right, I'm glad I missed that, actually. Maybe I could still get involved here. I think I'm already on a losing side here. I'm going to need some goals, unfortunately. Lando, hello and good morning. Joey Harb, thank you for joining us. There's Jeff in the chat. Thank you for everything, Jeff. David Wallace is here today. Res Doge here. And, hey, our I think our cryptos, I would expect we're going to continue some momentum. I don't know. What do you think, the cryptos? How do we respond to the 50 basis points? We know we've already had a pretty good week with the stocks, and could the stocks actually end up winning here in September? I always like to buy on these dips. I don't care. Thomas, hey, everybody. Like to introduce you to my right-hand man right here, Thomas Lewis. Good morning, and like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money Network, here on YouTube. We're just getting started here on this channel. I came over here for a reason to join these guys, and really proud to be the show that starts us off every morning. So thank you for finding me over here, and don't forget to like the channel and subscribe. Oh, baby, what's going on over here? Let me know if that really is a bother. All right, Fernando, hello. Nottingham. He's talking Nottingham Forest. David Wallace already ready to roll with some prop action here. I did, Jeff. I did it. Yeah, maybe it was $20, but at 8-1, I was ready to roll for a little bit. And I actually got the money back. When the time was, I was like, I don't think this is going to pay off, but let's just take a little profit out of this and get out of this. But that was a great tip, no doubt about it, and we made money off of that one for sure. when you're sitting there 8-1 and seeing how that game went down, I was thrilled. Okay. Nuke Worker here as well. Thanks, everybody. Hey, so I do have some plays over on winnable.com. This is how you can kind of follow me after I'm off the air. Yeah, I'm up here schlepping picks, and I want you to buy my picks today. I think you can get my NFL picks for like $2. I got 7 plays. So, look, if it was about the money, maybe I'd be on that other site where, I was over there charging $35, $45 a package. But here, I just want to know that you're following me, liking, and subscribing. So when you go over to Winnable, there's a free subscription over there. You'd get all these tennis plays that I've been rolling here for the last several days out of Asia. What I do is kind of send my minor sports, or at least this is what I'm doing right now. It's kind of sending my minor sports out there. I might have to tuck some of this tennis back into the back end the way it's been going, and then maybe put my best, hottest plays in that back end. But if you go over to Winnable, you'll find me over there on your device. It's a .com website, browser oriented, so you can also look at it on your computer. But then I'll have some prices in there. $4 for my plays today. I've got WNBA, NFL, and like I said, it's not about the money over here. I left a place where they were, it was $35, $45 a package. Okay. So I came over here to be with these guys, but I want to know people are following. This is the way that I'm generating interest and seeing what we want to do. Maybe buy me a little pizza here, or what did I have last night? Some delicious Rosati's lasagna, as well as enjoying those late games. But you could join the free subscription as well, and I'll send you a bunch of plays over there. No obligation. You can turn on your notifications, get plays from me pretty much 24/7. I know I'm bothering all of my subscribers with Asian baseball in the middle of the night and a bunch of tennis winners here as well, but also some of my other sports like my baseball today. Probably going to go out on the free package just because, some volatility here today, and I'm going to get to the baseball story for sure. I'm fired up right now about what's going on. So don't forget, use the promo code STEAM, and you can save 20% off those packages. My 7 best NFL plays for the whole day are up there right now. At an individual package, like I said, I got it for $3. We get all my plays, including 3 WNBA plays for $5 whole. I think I just said $4, whatever it was. Again, I'm over here to generate interest in a new channel with these guys and be part of something special with you guys here on the Morning Steam and the Sports Money Network with Mikey and the gang. And man, I think we're just getting started here. So, all right. Appreciate you listening to that. And we'll talk a little bit of action here with NFL, Major League Baseball, and WNBA. I was going to go Okay, great. Thank you, man. It was driving me crazy here, and I'm talking to a computer like it's a small child, basically at this point. Trey, hello, and Sub with the nice package there. Yeah, he'd been doing those soccer videos. I really like that. And I think Thomas, right? You know what, Thomas? I think I started off maybe too confident. Maybe I ordered out over my head yesterday with a big delivery, but I thought it was going to be, maybe a better day. We did have some nice winners, but man, it was a lot of work for felt like just treading water a little bit. So. But we did have the free packages were good. How about the CFL? We smashed some CFL play. We smashed that. We did have one play we sent out in the NHL, a puck line with the Sabres, and that one too. So, sometimes, you got to dig deep. All right. Marcus McCarthy, thank you for stopping in today and saying hello, and always AOD joining me. I almost overlook AOD, and I shouldn't. There's such great support and enthusiasm in the chat. All right. Hey, let's get started with NFL. We're still waiting. Look, the Chargers game is right on top. So, might as well start with the biggest news, or at least the news that we're waiting to get from the injury reports today. No, there's a couple of situations, but the Chargers, my Chargers, might be the ones that we're kind of keeping most abreast of right now as we wait to see if Justin Herbert. Look, I'm your Chargers man, and we've been on him so far because I look, a lot of people are putting, I understand. I mean, there's the personnel, maybe not as strong as this year, but, Jim Harbaugh is putting his signature on it. Maybe he has to start a little bit below the talent level that he wants to be in or the Chargers want to be in. But the Chargers have shown that they're willing, to spend some money. I'm down on this ownership group, but I'm excited that Jim Harbaugh accepted the job with these guys. And I think he can boss them around a little bit and they'll listen to him. He's a big man on campus, so to speak. This guy's won wherever he's gone. And of course, look at his overall record in the NFL is just tremendous, as well with the Niners. So everywhere he's gone, he's won. So I'm quickly on board and a believer. Now, obviously the problem here today is having Justin Herbert in the lineup. But this is one of the toughest guys out there, man. And this guy has kind of that Phillip Rivers, if you will, mentality. He's been playing with injuries every year until he couldn't. I mean, he had broken fingers. He couldn't play with that. Played with that chest injury, remember? So he's tough. And the Chargers have even said here, according to the Schefter report this morning, that they were even considering activating 3 quarterbacks today. Maybe he goes in there and it doesn't work out. And then they have to go to, I'd rather have Heineke over Stick. I don't know if it's a coin flip with those guys. It seems like everybody wants to mention Stick first, but I would think Taylor Heineke has a lot more experience. We all agree with that. So I'd almost I'd almost be okay with Taylor Heineke in the situation, but I'm just going to grab the under here. Even if Herbert is in there, he is going to be obviously limited, and the Chargers have already, like I said, they've got a stamp here. Not to say that they can't develop into, Harbaugh was a pretty gutsy quarterback. He was a winner to a certain extent, right, in his career. And he'll look to get the offense on track. He's got the man. This is part of the reason he took the job, is to have this man at quarterback. But if it's Heineke, again, we've seen him in some situations where he was on some pretty bad teams here, and maybe this Charger team, maybe I'm overhyping it. Maybe they are just mediocre, but I think the program's heading in the right direction with Harbaugh here, and there will be a defensive-oriented team right now, and I'll be looking to take the under in this game, even at 35 here. If Herbert's in there, it's going to go up to 36.5. If Herbert's in there, it's probably going to move to Steelers minus 1.5 or 1, I would think. The Steelers, this isn't certainly their best role here sometimes as a favorite, but right now they are in a pretty good groove here, 13-6 against the spread. Their last 20 games of the 3-point spread or less. Of course, I can't go. I'm on this channel now, so I can talk about whatever I want. I can't go looking at a Chargers at Steelers game thinking about the greatest moment as a fan for me in my lifetime. When I was young, anyway, kind of young, when the Chargers went into Pittsburgh and won the AFC Championship game as the double-digit underdogs. They were really overmatched in that game and somehow pulled off a miracle with Alfred Papunu catching a pass from Humphreys, and then Humphreys hitting Tony Martin with a huge bomb late in the game to stun the Steelers on the road and go on to the Super Bowl and get their butts kicked by the 49ers, but they knocked the pass down the last second of the game and won the AFC Championship in Pittsburgh. And for a kid like me at that time, or I say a kid, but I was in my 20s, but nonetheless, exciting moments. So this is still a tough game for them. I know a lot of people are going to be on the Steelers here. They have injuries, man. They have injuries on their offensive line big time, including their star rookie. So they're digging deep here, actually, and that's why I figure they'll have trouble here, especially if the Chargers are in there with Heineke. And look, Justin Fields, new place, new start, 2-0. It's great. I love it. I'm happy for him. And maybe this is the type of place that Fields can exist and be, and we'll see, because we got Wilson too, eventually, or however the Steelers going to work it. They just need a manager like these. This is what the Steelers are going to be doing, certainly. And Fields, though, still 12-28 as a starter overall. So Chargers here, they're running the ball great, and I love that. That's what they're going to do, right? They took those Ravens, I'm not saying they took the Ravens running backs. They just basically have the Ravens running backs now, and, they've looked pretty solid. And the Chargers, if they can run the ball at all, that's going to make it great for Herbert. That's a problem they've had with the previous, the coaches. They get a little pass happy. We're seeing the league wide. Get back to the run, baby. Get back. And slowly we're going to get back to the passing, and those bad teams that want to try to pass and they're not going to be able to pass, they're going to fail the test. It feels like. Let me get some comments from you. I'm on the under here, and be pulling for the Chargers today for sure. I'm back. I'm never left this bandwagon. Remember, the Chargers broke up with me. I didn't break up with them. I've been against them plenty over the last 20 years. Believe me, they're one of those situations when things are going bad. You ever, when you were a kid, my team sucks so bad, I would hope they lose 20-0 on some of those games. Here we go, Chargers and Steelers. Thomas is on the Steelers. Marcus says it's a first home game, and that's bad news. The Steelers actually struggle in their first home games against the number long term. It's always been a rugged situation. I think I even have it here. Mostly, not that the Steelers are, they're a great team. They're a great great club for decades and decades. But let's see here, man. I thought Pittsburgh lost 5 of their last 6 first home games, and 5-1 against the spread last 6 years. Often just maybe a little bit overpriced. Maybe they are here. Herbert's so tough, or whoever's in there, I think. But man, I just think Herbert could will this thing through if he could just hobble along on that ankle here a little bit. Remember, it hurt, but he wasn't totally out of the game at the time. It just was such a bizarre situation a little bit. Darren says keep it running here. We've had some baseball steam come in. I've been so excited. Let me tell you about these Mariners and Rangers under. I'm all about that today with Wu and Haney. Mariners hanging on. They've increased their percentage to 9%, a chance to make the playoffs. So the Mariners keep fighting. I like them today, man. They're playing with heart. And Cleveland and St. Louis just saw some steam while I was ranting there on the under with Williams and Palante. Why not? I would think we are in tune for an under in that one. I like this early steam today. I think Thomas is under in the Charger game here. And Ray says over with the field goals. And, man, we've been talking those field goal props, right? The NFL, the long kickers right now, 53 out of 57, is it right now? Over 50 yards. And 2 of the misses were by Justin Tucker. So, all right. Tom, I've talked Thomas into the Chargers here. I don't even know if I've talked myself into him, though, Thomas, in this one. I just want to continue to reiterate that I think people are underestimating the Chargers. I am a Chargers fan, meaning I probably follow this team more closely than most. I would think on the surface it does look like a total rebuild project, but I think in this league, Harbaugh's the man. This is the guy you want to do that here, and I'm totally satisfied with the situation right now, and maybe capitalizing on everyone else still having this team down a little bit. Maybe we can make some playoffs in this crummy division of ours, other than Kansas City. You know what I mean? The rest of the group, we can beat them if we could just beat Denver, beat the Raiders like we already did. All right, let's move on. Thanks for that. Nobody really commented. Nobody cares about the Chargers, so I'm wasting everybody's time. All right. Here we go. Next up. We got a little more steam here. I don't know if I like this one. White Sox and Padres game total over right now. They're steaming this one up towards 8, it feels like, here today. And, I'll talk about the Padres later. Sure tired of hearing me talk about my teams, but one thing's clear, and for the first time, not all season, but right now, the Padres, they control their own destiny to go to the playoffs. I mean, that's all you can ask for. If the Padres win their last 4 games, I mean, not the playoffs. They're in the division. I blew the punchline or the lead here. The Padres win the next 4 games. They win the division. That's it. The Dodgers cannot do anything about it. The Dodgers could win their next 4 games. The Padres, or they can't win the next 4 games. But I've really screwed up this story because I've gone out of turn here. Dodgers could win today, obviously, and then the Padres play the Dodgers this week. 3 straight games. Padres hold the tiebreaker. All they got to do is win today and sweep the Dodgers, and they win the division. So what do you think about the odds on that? Would you take it? All right, next up. And, Marcus, but I'm talking about the division games here a little bit. Thomas says Kansas City, they're still 2-0. Right, so, all right, Trap Gods here as well. And let's go Bears and Colts in this one, with the Colts here going to be a favorite by 1.5 right now, it looks like. And the total here, 43.5, maybe 44. Got a battle of inexperienced quarterbacks. That's all I can really say about this one, right? Look, maybe you like what you've seen. Some of the plays, from Williams, they look pretty good. But some of the plays from Richardson look pretty good too. I figure we'll have a mistake-filled game here. It's going to cost some turnovers, going to cost some drives here a little bit, and maybe it's going to be a clunker of a game actually with these 2 teams. Yeah, I like it on the fast surface, certainly, but Keenan Allen's still out for the Bears right now, and the Colts, I don't know. Are we really satisfied with their running game here at this point? Steichen's pretty good so far, 8-5 in these close games against the spread so far. Indy, they're still getting kind of outgained at this point. Bears have never been close with or not too good of late in close games, 4-7-1 against the spread in games with a spread of 3 points or less. So Bears just aren't scoring with this quarterback right now. They're not scoring. They're not putting drives together. They're not finishing drives. They're not getting touchdowns right now on these drives. And when you're averaging just 3 yards per completion per game, that's going to be really, really a shortcoming here, I would think, against the Colts, who maybe they've had a little bit. Richardson can be a little bit more explosive. He can make mistakes too, certainly. They try to control it on the ground here a little bit, but they get off to such bad starts, man. They've been outscored 22-7 so far in the first half, and we'll see on this one, over in 5 of the last 7. But man, 43.5 points with these rookie quarterback. Or I say rookie, Richardson a rookie. He's not a rookie, but he only has 6 starts in his career. So I just see, whoops, my bad, coach, kind of situation here. All right, Luis is on the Colts. Dre is on the under. Colts money line here for Fernando, and he's leaning to the over. Trap God's got an under here. Philly Eagle Flyer going over. And these quarterbacks, that's half the battle, right? And that's what we've seen a little bit from those gambling quarterbacks. Even if you want to, Tua, right? You could say he's got that spirit. He's tough. But you got to know, you got to be in control of the situation too. You can't just chuck the ball up there when the 300-pound man is about to land on you, where, you know what? A lot of time it ain't a penalty if you get close enough and you get that good hit on a guy, right? And ring his bell a little bit. We don't want any cheap shots, but, a lot of those hits are, we're just legitimate hits, right? And we're just, when you got that old arm sticking out, right? You get knocked down and you're like, it's bad news. It's bad news. All right. Is that sad news? All right. And Ray says, where are the points going to come from, right? Where are the points going to come from with these 2 teams right now? Like I said, the only thing I can really kind of say about, is, yeah, the Colts, they do play a little bit of deep ball a little bit. They take advantage of the speed, some of the speed game, it feels like, at home. But the Bears, look, the one thing that I think everyone kind of agrees about the Bears is we thrust Williams into this situation, and at least it's almost like unfair for back when Fields was there, because we talk about maybe these Bears, they've really improved in a lot of areas and they're becoming good right when they get this rookie quarterback. But now we've got to kind of, teach this man, or hopefully he is, lives up to some expectations. Unlike, Bryce Young, but that's another story. All right, let's see here. David on the Colts. Darren says Colts under there. And all those dual threat quarterbacks, right? They're the ones that are getting beat up, Thomas says a little bit. And the pocket passers, they seem to be the ones that, win in the end. Although, you could say a guy like Allen is a little bit different. But even if you get scared, remember we make fun of Josh Allen sometimes when he's giving up the ball, trying to make some plays. All right. In this one, I've got the Colts. Oh, did I say I've got the Colts here in this one? I think they're just a little bit more complete right now. Bears, this defense, if they can keep it close, maybe that can be the answer here. And, Colts aren't going to be as strong there, it feels like. But these two teams played in the Super Bowl once, right? All right. Next up, the Texans and the Vikings. Here in this one, and the Texans a road favorite in this one against the darlings of the I don't know if the metrics guys or whatever are on the Vikings a little bit, but certainly seems like we're starting to roll up. I'm on the Vikings a little bit as far as their overall momentum and where I think they're headed. I think they're being overlooked a little bit right now. Look, I love the Texans. Everybody knows I'm all over the Texans, and certainly thinks of the world of Stroud. And yeah, maybe he was a little bit off on his wording, I think, when he was trying to not congratulate, but maybe console Williams in that game. But I think he was just saying, look, I made mistakes too when I was young. And, Williams, it looked like he kind of one-offed him a little bit and said, don't talk to me like that. Who do you think you are? Well, CJ Stroud right now, if you look at his body of work, right, who is the next great quarterback in this league? It looks like him, quite frankly. And, it's mostly character a little bit too. So maybe he just had trouble kind of expressing the way he wanted to say it. He wasn't going to talk down to him by saying, just eliminate those mistakes. I think we saw the mistakes that Williams made in that game. And I think that might have been, when the quarterback's sitting there on the bench watching the big screen, he's watching the other quarterback, unless he's working on his, Windows computer thing there or whatever. They watch the game, they watch the other quarterback too. And I think he wanted to pump this guy up. I think Stroud is a leader out there. We've already heard of his leadership capabilities. So I think it's okay to tell the other guy to just be strong and be better here. And that's what he was right. Williams has to be better. So anyways, I'm talking big time on Stroud here, but 46 here for me. I think both these teams, I think the Vikings defense might be able to keep it down a little bit on Stroud, actually, and company here, and make this a very, very tight game. And I'm not sure they can reach 46 despite hey, the thing with Vikings right now in their situation with Kevin O'Connell, they're talking about a quarterback whisperer here a little bit. That's the way I've said it. Sam Darnold, right? You could do worse. You're talking about the type of pocket passer. Sam Darnold can zing it. We know that. He's got a super top weapon, certainly. Now, maybe the running game is going to be a little bit tough, and maybe that's why, I think the balance of the offenses really aren't there for these two teams, and I think that's why it will stay. I think it'll be pretty close, actually, but I'm giving out the total as my play on and under here at 46 with these two teams. I think it's even some 46 and a halves out there right now. I just got this one just a little bit too high. Maybe it'll be 42, 43 points right in there somewhere. I do think it kind of will be closer, but my play is going to be on the under with these guys, and kind of want to, maybe come in with the Vikes here today, but we'll give out the under as the play here on the show. See what you guys have in this one. And it's going to be Texans for Davis, for David, and look, I love C.J. Stroud actually, and I think I'm riding with the Texans in the future here. But I'm also kind of riding with the Vikings. These are, I think, two of the teams right now. We lost that last tennis match, gang. So 4-2 night, I believe, with the tennis picks again. Is that 4-2 last couple of cards and winning cards all week here, tennis action. But Bublik, yeah, he got beat by Shang there in straights. Okay, here we go. Luis is on the under with me here a little bit. And I think the total's up a little high because people are going to kind of maybe think that we will see some scoring. And Dre is on Minnesota here. And Jermaine's going with some props. And Ray says under in the first half in this game. And Darren says I'm on the Texans here due to the injury report. Subhuman says Brighton got a goal here. I was getting off on my football analysis. I'm also got Formula One in play here right now this morning. So some exciting sports here. And and there's Brighton with the second goal. So sorry, Sub, on that total. And I'm not home free yet. Obviously, we'll get a wild one here right now. We're only at halftime, 2-1 for Brighton right now over Forest. All right, let's see what else we got here, you guys. On the football game, by the way, we're on here, and Jermaine says, I don't know, with these two teams, I didn't look back. Let me see if I can get those for you, or maybe you have it as well. But, AFC, NFC, you're not going to meet every season, obviously, the way the schedule rotates in these games. So Texans lost here 31-13 and 28-21. I'm more interested in series history and division games and a little bit of conference play. Usually, you're only going to face the other division every few years. So, all right. And I think that's it for this one with you guys. And I'm on the under here with the Texans and the Vikings here today. And I think this one could come right down to the wire, though, actually. And we've already seen some dramatics and heroics. Giants and Browns here in this one. And, man, look at this, right? The Browns, all of a sudden, are we back to, remember back when the Browns were just starting to catch everybody's attention. They got Watson in here. This is going to be it. And all of a sudden, it wasn't so much. Well, they might be facing an epically bad team here right now in the Giants, the way it looks with, Jones here right now, not looking too good. The Giants just aren't looking great. They have 3 touchdowns so far this season on 18 drives overall. The defense has been pretty interesting here right now. I mean, they didn't give up a touchdown. They were bend but don't break. The other team booted 7 field goals, but that's what's happening in the league, right? If you can hold the team to a field goal, hey, you better score. You better at least get a field goal, and maybe they're just not doing it right now, especially in the second half. Man, the team is just totally fading here, it feels like, in the second half. They just don't have any stamina here. And how will that face against the Browns, one of the best home favorites in the league? We can go off on Watson for everything, right? For even being overrated here or whatever. But Watson wins. Watson wins. Watson covers. What more do you want as a bettor? There's some bad, performances. He's not upper echelon, but he's starting to get the money here on some. Browns are 6-0. Yeah, in some of these games, of course, they've had some other quarterbacks here of late. I remember bringing in Flacco or whatever, but the Browns in general covering games at home, 6-0 as home favorites last season. And that hadn't always been the case before. So they're starting to cover some of these games here right now. Now, they do have some problems in the clutch with Deshaun. on third down. They're big time problems right now on conversions, 4 of 29 overall. But the Giants are in their kind of their best role here right now, and the spread's just pretty high. Dable 12-6 against the spread, coming off of a loss. The Giants are 7-2-1 against the spread in non-conference games. I know a lot of people talk about. We'll talk about Jackson later, but nonetheless, well, we won't talk about today, right? He's on the night game there, but. All right, maybe you guys can come in on this one. I'm about ready to make my play here, but let's see what you guys have in this one. Like I said, Browns are covering these, but this is a good roll for the Giants. It just, to me, it looks like they might be epically bad, unfortunately, right now. Can they even work a back door when they're fading in the second half right now? And the Browns, maybe they are okay. All right, here we go. Who do we got? Maybe Thomas is on his Browns here. Luis is on the Giants in this one. And Dre is on the Giants. Fernandez is Giants money line. And, yeah, we know Njoku's going to miss the game here, so missing some weapons. Just feels like a high number here a little bit. But, man, I just think the Giants might not be good. Darren's got a prop here. Rob Reeder here today. Loves the Giants with the points. And when you got a low-scoring game here, I don't know. I know what you're saying. That it should be a low-scoring game. I think they set the total a little too low, actually, though. Here's Giants money line for Fernando. Looks like I might be on the wrong end of this one here. And, it's tough to lay point. Right now, these favorites of 5.5 points or more in the NFL right now, I believe it's now 2-13 against the spread. The last one, they actually got the money the other night, right? What was on the Monday night game, the favorite finally covered. But right now, I think I have that right. Whatever it is, it's close. It was 1-12, 1-13, and they've got one there. It's like 2-13 favorites of 5.5 points or more right now through 2 weeks of the season. Fernando on the Giants money line, and we got the Teamsters consensus play. It's Giants and under. Or it's Giants, it's under in this game. Is that what it is, Thomas? I want to make sure. Yeah, because there was a lot of Browns support. I'm sure he means under here as the play from Team Steam Consensus. How about that? Okay. I don't know if I'm seeing it that way, gang. I know under is a very, very hey, I'm Mr. Under, right? If anything. I mean, no, I guess Noli's Mr. Under, but I give out more unders on anybody on YouTube. All right, there's some props on this one. Cleveland wins, Giants cover, says Thomas. And Giants O-line playing better. They're getting some production, right, from their star rookie here a little bit. So I'm going with the Browns, you guys. I feel pretty contrarian in this game all around. I think people are down on the Browns, and I'm not ready to just commit to the Browns yet. Maybe I'm just doing it because I want Thomas to like me all the time. But I'm going to lay a number here right now with the Browns. I don't want to lay 6, and I'd probably make sure I'm down to 6 or even 5.5 with some heavy juice. Here, if I may. I got to give it out at the line, and I think for the most part it is 6.5 still here. Nobody likes the Giants. I'm wondering if they aren't. What's your guys' rankings of the worst teams right now? Carolina's at the bottom. Who do you have between maybe the Broncos, the Giants, and the Patriots? Would you put those other 3 teams maybe and kind of jumble them around at the bottom right now? You got the Giants there for sure, right, gang? Or are they above that? is it just Patriots and everybody? I mean, is it just Panthers and everybody else? Okay, that's it on this one. I am laying it here with the Browns in this one. I feel like I didn't get a long Titans, says Red Dojan. I didn't even include them in there at this point. Okay. All right. Eagles and Saints. Hello. We got a marquee matchup all of a sudden, or do we? Have we really already started to bury the Philadelphia Eagles? Are we really ready to send them off out of the, I don't know, top 10 teams in the league at this point? Where do you rank the Eagles? Are you worried? I am worried because of the fact that Jason Kelsey's not on the team anymore. That, I think, was the biggest thing overlooked by most. I don't think everybody's overlooked it. I mean, we're all listening to his podcasts and all his commercials and everything, and he's the world's sexiest man and all that. And I love Jason Kelsey, but he was the most important player on this team. I'm sure Jalen Hurts can tell you that. I'm sure everyone knows that he was the man that made the engine go. So we really to downgrade the Eagles here. Oh, the Saints. I mean, they were. Hey, I'm been riding the Saints. You guys with me here on the show? We've been here since day one on Sports Money. I talk about the Saints, right? I didn't necessarily say Derek Carr is the answer, but I did say that the receivers are the answer for the Saints. And maybe you give Derek Carr some weapons. You got Kamara. Maybe those defenses were a little bit not prepared in that day. This is a big game for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. It feels like to me to go on the road. What would the spread have been if we didn't see the Saints? I know coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it would have been the Eagles by 3 or more in this game, obviously, coming in. So I've just got to kind of look to trust the Eagles defense here. That total of 49, I got 50 on the screen, right? It's 49 at the sharpest shop. So I'm going under in this game. I know everyone's going to think this one's flying over, and maybe you guys are right. But yeah, the Saints have been explosive with MVP Derek Carr. We've seen it before from Carr, and then before you know it, he's thrown 4 picks, right? And we're all of a sudden down on Carr again. Now, maybe there's something special to this situation. Maybe having the coaching situation just a little more stable right now. Maybe this is a great situation for the Saints. Nobody saw it coming, right? Nobody was out there saying this will turn it around. No, I love Shaheed. I've said it already. I love Olave. I love those guys. And, but do I love them to be a favorite of 3 points against the Eagles? I don't know if I do, but I'm going to take the under here and figure this game stays in the mid-40s or so in this one. I mean, the Eagles I think they have a defense, right? They are a championship contender here. The Saints have obviously done a pretty nice job as well so far with an unheralded defensive effort, I guess you could say at this point. You got the short week, you got the travel. I'm sure that all is factored into the spread here a little bit, certainly for the Eagles. They can't stop the run at this point. They've got to improve that big time. And I know the Eagles probably know that the starting with the defense is going to be the most important thing to stabilize the situation here. Now, I don't think the Saints are going to be getting 45 points against the Eagles tonight. If they are, maybe we'll crown their asses. Who knows? Saints have gone here. Let's see. Man, the Eagles haven't been here in 6 years. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two have gone over. We know the Saints, man, they scored points. What did I say? They scored points on their first 15 drives touching the ball this season. It regressed to the mean a little bit. It feels like to me, I want to think that the Eagles coming off a loss here. I know they're going to have to go on the road again, but man, we really put the Eagles away here. I don't know. I'm on the under. They got to have a top defensive effort today. Here we go with your picks in this big game. Big game. Featured game, it feels like. Maybe Luis is on the over here in this one. And David said, got to go the Eagles. Darren says, lay it with the Saints. Saints team total under for Rob. Saints team total over for Dre. It's going to be a good game. That's what this says here. But look at this. Thomas claimed it early. He said the Saints are the number 2 consensus play in this one. Wow. Saints to keep it rolling, says Team Steam here in this one. Hey, I want to say hello to presidential-minded Kings and agree with you. The center is the coach on the field, right? And, some centers are better than others. Certainly, right? And yeah, in general, there might be a better offensive lineman or player there that can supersede the center a little bit if you got a great tackle or something. But in general, you're going to go, you want a consistency in your center. When the center gets knocked out of the game, right? The radar goes up. You're like, well, that's big. Offensive linemen go out all the time. You're like, maybe we'll bet on this other team now. Their offensive linemen are going down. But when the center goes out, you're like, well, maybe we will. Here's our Tom's on the Eagles in this one. Thomas says, don't forget about Kamara. He had 4 touchdowns. And we've seen huge games from Kamara in his career, right? But his career has been going on a long time here now, and the Saints have yet to graduate. Here's a Luis. Eagles cover, maybe win the game. I just think it's going to be a thriller, right, Luis? It's got to be a good, hard game here, right? The Cowboys, that was, typical overlooking things, not prepared. We know the Cowboys are, one of the best home teams around a lot of times, and the Saints come in there and smack them around. And presidential-minded King says, extendo. All right. Philly Eagle Flyer. Look at this one from the heart right here. And what do you think, Philly Eagle? Like I said, I've just seen some people with their ratings have already, downgraded the Eagles. I've downgraded the Eagles. I mean, I don't want to, I'm here on Mikey on our channel and all that. But certainly here, I have to think that this is a big moment for the Eagles here and try to stop this momentum of the Saints right now, it feels like to me. So, all right, but I'm on the under here, guys. David wants. I'm not trying to sell you guys on it. Like Thomas said, we've already made a decision here with the consensus with the Saints, right? No, I think I did. I said that Saints defense, they've really have improved dramatically, or at least so far. Right about maybe the first 2 minutes into this segment with the Saints. So, all right. And but you know what, Philly Eagle Flyer? I mean, anybody knows you, and look at your logos there. I mean, that's coming from the heart. But again, I think just that, right? I mean, to me, Jason Kelce, and the fact that this team has played so far over its head from the moment of the the great moments, and just maybe falling off a little bit, but I don't know. This one feels important. Okay, next up, Broncos and the Buccaneers here in this one. And I don't know, are the Broncos the next to worst team right now in the league? Everyone's on all over Bo Nix, and I get it here, but he did increase his yards per attempt in his second start, doubled it really, and his completion percentage was okay, right? I mean, acceptable by most standards. It's just there's just no downfield throwing or anything like that. So, they lost by 6, they lost by 7. They seem like they've been a pretty competitive team here at this point, and they're not going up against any world beaters. Well, okay, the 3-time champs here. Interesting, right? What do you want to do with the NFC South with the Buccaneers and the Saints right now? It's the Bucs that keep winning the division titles, and the Saints are off to this great start. They've scored on 33% of their possessions so far with that 2-0 record right now, and they've been pretty good as a home favorite. His number looks a little bit big, even against a Denver team that, like I said, Denver, they've been a little bit competitive here, certainly, despite maybe a little bit too much credit on the spread, but kept it under a touchdown anyway, and I would expect improvement nonetheless from these two teams. Now, you might think that Baker's going to get into something here, but I'm going under for sure in this one. I mean, the Broncos are going to need to keep the Buccaneers down here a little bit and have some defense, I would think. The Bucs, having Baker out there, hey, it's fun and exciting, certainly here right now. But he has some tendencies to make some mistakes here, and the Broncos are going to be a knockdown, drag out, certainly in this one. The Bucs, remember, in that game against the Lions, were totally dominated, but that was the Lions. And again, maybe the Lions, maybe they're a little bit shortchanged here today as well. So I'm going under for sure in this game. Denver's gone under in 15 of their last 25 road games overall right now. And they're not running the ball too well, and that's not going to help Bo Nix here. But I don't know if I had to make some quarterback standings right now, out of the rookies. I guess it's hard. Maybe Bo Nix would be second, but just because everyone else is tied for last, I guess. All right. And give me the under here with the Broncos and the Buccaneers for sure as my play here on the morning steam. Let's see here. Art Tom says take Denver. Luis says take Denver. And tease the Bucs here to a pick 'em. Rob says take them with the points. And again, you can try to roll with some of these teams. The magic number right now is 5.5. You'd think 6. And maybe you want to buy it, make sure you're always getting a 6 or so. I'm always about that. Ironically, I don't know if you guys know this, but in football, scoring is done in 3s and 6s and 1s for the most part. So 6, pretty important. And Thomas says Tampa to cover. Overlooked statistical high-tech data from Ramon Scott. The ways to score in a football game. 3 is really popular right now. David says Tampa Bay. Not sure how they're going to get there, but maybe they will. Is that what you're saying, brother? Bucks and under here for Darren. And Old D is here today as well. Says Bucks will handle their business today. Dre says Bucks and under. I'm giving out the under here in this one, but I'm kind of about that stat right now. And this is the NFL, man. And like I said, maybe if I just mentioned those teams, Giants, Broncos, Patriots, Panthers, could these teams, how many teams could they win together? Will it be a dozen? Can they win a dozen games? Maybe 15. I don't know. All right. Right. I only count, for some reason, I was always good at counting in 7s. I always, I could whip out 7s. All right. Here we go. Next up, Packers and Titans, and this one much talked about as well as we kind of wait for the information here with what are we going to have in the with the Packers situation. I think this one feels more automatic here that the Packers will go with their backup today in this one, and the former Tennessee Titan here, Malik Willis. And look, there's no secret here. Malik Willis isn't going to be, he's done it one way and pretty much one way only, right? And that's to move around and be a little bit deceptive and keep you on your toes a little bit. And that's okay. That's okay sometimes if that's all you got. But I think that's what's going to make this game really, really tough to reach 37 points here in this one with the Packers and the Titans. I think we got a low-scoring game on hand here. Of course, Will Levis hasn't looked too great. I've been, maybe wrong on Will Levis a little bit. But again, now you're starting over with Tennessee, like we've talked about here, and Levis wasn't all that to begin with. I just thought a little bit of a gunslinger attitude for Will Levis that I kind of liked here, but still now 3-8 as a starter. Got to pick somebody in this game, it feels like here, and let me see that line here. Actually, it's down to 2.5 at some spots here. It feels like it might be tough to get the number here actually in this one, but I don't know if the Packers can go on the road right now and win this one here. Willis, he was 12 of 14 last week. That's solid. with 144 yards here. And everybody talks about him with Tennessee. He only played 3 games or 4. I guess he played 4. What do they say? 4 games and 3 as a starter. And everybody's like, I don't know if he even was starting that 1 game, but he's been here with the Packers for a year now. Green Bay is a terrific underdog, man. 20-9 against the spread last 29 games, and the Packers are running effectively here. And the Titans hope to be the same type of Titans, even if this is a new crew here a little bit with this coaching staff right now. But this has kind of been a tough series for Green Bay overall. 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone over in this series, but not right now. I don't see it getting up to maybe even 37 points here. And I've got another under in this one, despite those trends. Packers haven't won in Tennessee in their last 3 trips, but again, those non-conference series are few and far between. Okay. Any picks here? We got our Thompsons on the Packers and Darren's on the Packers. Rob says it's a revenge game for those 3 or 4 starts and trading him, but I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't. Well, this is like, boy, I'd really like to get back at those guys trading me to the Packers. Love to be on the Packers, though, wouldn't you? I mean, even just for the, just say you were on the Packers. Thomas is on the Packers. Speaking of on the Packers, David, though, Titans money line and a prop there. And Dre's on the under. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Packers on the money line in a close one. And it's a consensus play here. Packers here in this one. Oh, man. Okay, Packers to get rolling here today. Okay, yeah, you guys are on the Packers for sure. I don't know about it, Thomas. It didn't look good. We're not hearing anything positive yet about it. And like I said, Herbert has a better chance than Love, it looks like, to get in this game. I think if Love was expected to be in there, I think this line would be 2 points actually here. I think that would be the move. And Ray's with me, I think, on the under here. And Red Doge says, even they can get it done no matter who the quarterback is. Titans are trash. All right, let's keep it moving here. Packers and under for Tariq, part of Team Steam Consensus here. All right. Panthers and Raiders. Dun, 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 the Raiders. Dun, 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 dun. Now, the complexion of this game changed dramatically when the Panthers benched Bryce Young and made Andy Dalton the starter. I think it immediately, the line moved in the Panthers' favor as if it was a good move. Now, the funny thing about that is you do have a situation here where teams are interested in Bryce Young, interestingly enough. Maybe that shows where this Panthers franchise kind of is right now. Maybe there is something to Bryce Young that we are unable to get to because he's stuck in a really pathetic organization right now. But the Raiders, look, lipstick on the pig, whatever, and I'm here in Vegas and I want to, it's hard to even root for them, but I like football. I like home teams a little bit. I'm a Chargers fan. I can't bring myself to root for the Raiders necessarily, and I'll be the first to make fun of them. But I want to see a little bit of good karma, good vibes with a team here in Vegas. Nonetheless, they're not a very good team, I don't think, overall. And how can they even consider them to beat another team by 6 points here? Maybe we get back to that trend a little bit, it feels like. But Panthers are bad. They're number 32, obviously, in everybody's rankings here at this point. Maybe you guys will lay the Raiders here with Uncle Rico at quarterback, but it doesn't really feel like, this is still a very good team here right now to me. So, but I do think the complexion of the game changed once you brought Dalton in here, and I think this game's going over, man. I don't know. I don't think the Raiders look, Max is great, but we did see their other defensive lineman. Looks like he's going to be out now for the season. Their other star defensive lineman here right now, as the injury was named. Let me take a you know who it is, the guys. Oh, God. Kuntz. Yeah. Uh, Kuntz, the defensive end, good looking player there, named out, out for the season here. So, uh, I think that maybe the Panthers here a little bit with Dalton. It's going to change everything. It's not going to make the Panthers winners. It's just going to change the fact that they can throw the ball a lot more with and he'll make mistakes. He'll make bozo mistakes, I'm sure, but still got Uncle Rico here. And if the Panthers can get any running game at all, they can spring an upset with Dalton. There's volatility here. I don't think 6 is anything special, actually. Not going to go out and take the Panthers necessarily as a play on the money line, but certainly think this one's going to be, I don't know, it could be 23-22, 23-21, something in there. I think there'll just be a lot of passing here with bad teams. They'll get away from these might be the type of teams that'll get away from the run here a little bit. So far the Panthers went over in both their games. They did start for the Panthers last year. Now the Panthers are a terrible road underdog, 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. So nobody probably going to want the Panthers. I imagine you guys are probably going consensus here with the Raiders. They look great against the Ravens here, right? And now the funny thing is, Raiders were able to get all those drives together with Uncle Rico, beat the Ravens, and now everybody's like, man, the Ravens are going to go in and beat the Cowboys now. And boy, what would we do with the Raiders then if they go out and just take care of business here? Are they really any good? Doesn't feel like it. All right. So, anyways, here, Vegas right now, they've got their running game is not looking too great, so I think that kind of hampers them a little bit and why they end up taking to the air there here also. And I'm going to end up on the over here in this one of the Raiders and the Panthers today. Dalton's going to go down swinging. Certainly, you make a change like that, and for what the Panthers said, that was a joke. They're like, oh, we still can bring Bryce Young back. Yeah, you bring Bryce Young back when the season's over here in about 6 or 7 weeks, and then you're just going through the motions again with the terrible ownership. All right, here we go. Thomas is on the Raiders. Our Thomas take the Panthers here in this one. And Tariq says, lay it with the Raiders. Here's Trap God with an ATD. Darren's on the Raiders. And Thomas feels like they're progressing here. Fernando's with me on an over. Eric Mose is here today. Luis here is on the Panthers plus the points. And Thomas saying he knows to take the points. Just want to see what the Raiders are going to do. Chad's here today. And there he is. He says, don't bet on the Panthers. You might want to call the hotline here at this point. And maybe I'm not betting on the Panthers. Maybe I'm betting on Andy Dalton. All right, Dre's on the over. I'm on the over is what I'm on here now on the morning steam. All right. Let's get it going here with another one. Dolphins and Seahawks in this one. And you have Skylar Thompson coming in. He had a couple of starts in his career a couple years ago, so he can navigate a little bit here. And maybe he's not going to be Tua. And look, I think we still all liked Tua and know that he throws a beautiful ball. Yeah, too many mistakes. Maybe the Dolphins need a different type of quarterback. I'm not saying they need Skylar Thompson, but maybe for Coach Logic, a drop back quarterback would be better off here. My guy's getting a lot of heat right now, even making some mistakes that he shouldn't be making, I guess. So makes me feel a little bit bad for my guy, McDaniel. Here, the Dolphins, though, coming into this one, they just have 3 touchdowns so far this season on 21 offensive drives here. But for the Seahawks here as a 4.5-point favorite with Geno, I think they can almost thank the situation here for the Dolphins. 4.5, first of all, does look a little bit tricky here, right? Because, oh man, the Dolphins, let me see what these numbers are right now. 7-2 against the spread, last 9 road openers. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm going to go over in this game. I know the trends are probably going to point to the under here in this one. 3 of the last 4 meetings have gone under, but this is interconference game in this one. But I think Thompson, again, kind of a thing. Yeah, Tua, he's got great weapons, and I think that's one of the things. I think Mostert's out here coming in, so maybe the Dolphins a little bit shorthanded. Seahawks still have explosive, passing deep balls. We saw that a little bit, of course, with their guys last week. So I'm going to go over 41.5 here in this one. Let's see. Mostert downgraded to doubtful in this one. Malik Washington out as well. So, okay. Let me see here. Maybe getting some
final.
I'm just seeing if we got anything yet on some of the quarterback news, but nothing's come across just yet as far as the inactives are concerned. All right, Chad. Thank you, Chad. He's got the WNBA in there, so he's just stopping by. Thank you for that, Chad. David's on the Dolphins here. And Billy says, did I say? Yeah, right now we're just waiting. I'm giving Herbert probably a 50-50 chance. So again, he's a type that wants to play. And again, if they can just keep it a little bit stabilized and there isn't pain, I would think he would hobble around out there. The one thing that the Chargers have said is they might actually put 3 active quarterbacks today. You don't see that very often unless the guy's going to give it a try, and then you've got to go to the second man if it's not working out, and then you need that third quarterback. So just a little bit interesting there that Harbaugh would do that, or they haven't done it yet, but that was maybe what they were talking about. So Thomas says, that Miami's quarterback got hurt. Yeah, no doubt, Thomas. That's why I've talked about Skylar Thompson in there for Tua. He has experience, certainly. Luis is on Miami, and Dre is on Miami here. All right, I think that's it. Tariq says got to be an under for him with these 2 teams right now. Doesn't see maybe Miami producing much. You got Mostert out. Still have the man. You still have Hill. In there as well. And yeah, I one thing I agree with Thomas is the receivers on the Seahawks. So I am on the actually I'm going to take the Dolphins here in this one. I'm going to grab the Dolphins. I see you out there with some of the unders. So let me respect it a little bit. I won't disrespect in the chat. I'm going to go with the Dolphins here plus the points. But you guys probably figure out what I'm going to, that I might be a little bit contrarian again in there. Again, I'll tell you this. You look at those big contests, right? The big Vegas contests right now. Contrarian is the way to go. The consensus plays have totally flopped right now. I'm not saying you guys are right or wrong, or I'm right or wrong right now. And maybe I'm pivoting at the wrong time a little bit. But so far, you got very few people at 10-0s, at 9-1s in those contests with 5 plays, for example. But you have many, many entrants at 0-10 and 1-9 right now. Consensus hasn't. And I'm a big consensus guy, obviously. I'm not talking about our consensus. I'm talking about the major contests that get the most publicity. And those numbers often reflect industry-wide trends on what teams are being bet on and picked. As well. I'm not talking Survivor. I'm talking about spreads here. Okay, that's it for that one. I'm on the over. I'm on the Dolphins. I'm on the Dolphins, you guys. All right. Lions and Cardinals here in this one. And hey, the Cardinals are kind of a spread darling a little bit, right? Seems like they're always able to get there with Kyler a little bit. They're 6-3 against the spread, their last 9 as a home underdog. Detroit, man, what was going on? They couldn't get in the end zone. They kept getting into the red zone and they could not score. Detroit is a much better team than the Arizona Cardinals. It's just is this the NFL? Are they going to go in there and flub it up? Is Campbell going to make some goofball decisions? The Detroit Lions should beat the Arizona Cardinals by 7 to 10 points today. It's just that the Cardinals are like the master of the back doors. They could be trailing by 10. Kyler's whipping around, throwing it down. He's got an exciting rookie receiver right now doing some good things. But Arizona 2-5 against the spread, coming off of a win here. Lions have never fared well here in Arizona, but they haven't been Super Bowl contender. Let's just say what it is right now. Yeah, they've lost a game here now, but under in both games so far. This thing's at 51 right now. I don't see that happening here. I think everyone's going to want to go over with Stafford, going up against Kyler here a little bit, but not me. I think this one becomes a game of attrition. We already seen it before. These Lions games a little bit. They're tougher than they look. Their defense is probably better than maybe we give them credit for. I think that's why they are. I didn't mean to say Goff. You know what I mean. I got the old Goff Stafford thing backwards as usual. But Goff, you know what I mean. Again, I think it's tougher than it looks getting this big number like this, but I'm taking the Lions here. I think it's A team versus C team here. If you just going to ABC, Lions are a top elite team. They probably should be favored by more here. Maybe there's some excitement again in Arizona a little bit with a win so far, but does not seem right. I'm on the Lions here, gang. I almost kind of wanted to make it a premium, but I just feel like that total's so high. I'm on the Lions to win this one. I feel pretty strong about this. Maybe my favorite play of the free plays here on the show. All right, Dre, maybe going over in this one, and maybe Thomas is on the Lions with me. Our Thomas is on the Lions. And thank you. Yeah, I'd always do that. Okay, not much from you guys there, but I'm on the Lions here. And this one, and we got the stacks play of the day, apparently on Lions and over. Stacks. Justin is like our greatest. He is the greatest YouTube sports chat contributor in the country. Let's just say that. And he has his own, play of the day on half these sites. Here, he's just another guy, but he's more than that. Thanks, as always, Justin. All right.
Final.
Maybe Philly Eagle Flyer teases the Cards, make them the 9-point dog here, and tease it to the over. All right. I'm on the Lions as my play in this one. Next up, Ravens and Cowboys here with the Ravens getting all the attention of the public here for sure right now, coming in desperate need of a victory. Hey, the Dallas Cowboys are 1-1, and of course were embarrassed, and everyone wants to bury them now, I think, after the game against the Saints and make fun of them and caught them by surprise. Or are we just throwing them out too? Maybe the Cowboys are awful here, and Dak got all that money and all that, and these guys aren't actually any good. Here's the one thing, the biggest stat of the week, right, is the Lamar Jackson 22-1 against the NFC. That's a great stat, and I'm kind of about it in a certain extent. I don't know if it carries over even to every game right now, though, especially in a toss-up game against the Cowboys. I think what you have in John Harbaugh is you're playing in a rugged division where all the games are knockdown, drag out, but you're always totally prepared for these non-conference games that, they're not as intense or whatnot. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't think that you have guys in the locker room saying, boy, we just hate the NFC so much. We're just going to get up for this game. We always get up for these I think it's a combination of non-conference games are not as intense as division games. Look at what Harbaugh does, for example, in the preseason. We know he had that great record, right? It's the discipline of the Harbaughs a little bit here. And maybe that's what everybody expects is going to happen today. You're 0-2. You don't expect the Ravens to be 0-3. They've just lost the game by a couple of points here. You're going in to play the Cowboys, which are one of the best home teams in football over the last decade right now, no doubt about it. So, let's see, 16-8 last 24 as a home favorite. That's pretty strong for sure. Dallas 32-17 straight up in their last 49 home games. It's about as good as it gets in the NFL. Certainly, Baltimore's owned this series, so there's that too. Won 5 of the last 6, but again, another interconference game here in this one. 4 of the last 5 have gone over, but again, I'm not too deep into that. The Ravens pretty strong on the road, 11-7, last 18 against the spread on the road here. And of course, Jackson, he's a total winner. I get that. Ravens are right now the 1-point favorite still. Let's make sure. Yeah, 1-point favorite still. So Ravens are one of the hottest picks of the public here this week. But man, it's tough, right, to go in and win. It feels like here in Dallas, man. I know everyone's going to be on the Ravens, and I'm on the over for sure with Jackson and Dak today. I've got it going over. That's my play here on the Morning Steam. What do you guys have? Here's Trap God on the Cowboys. Here's Fernando on the Ravens. Dre's on his Ravens. And Thomas says the Cowboys may have some holes here. They shouldn't, right? They shouldn't have holes. The Dallas Cowboys are, they make sure they usually have all-stars at every position. They pay these players to no end. The Dallas Cowboys should never even lose a game. I watch ESPN in the mornings when I get done with the morning team. The Cowboys should never lose. They are the greatest team at every position, not number one, but weigh them up against any team. They are the best. Sons of Silence is here today. I think he's talking about the Cowboys. And let's see. All right, Brighton, look at this game. Yeah, we just see the goal here by Forrest. Nice touching here. Nice touch passing and getting this goal here in a wild one. Wow. All right, I'm on the over. Come on. I got to take an over somewhere. I'm taking it on this one for sure. Justin says he's got Lamar with an anytime touchdown, I think is what he's saying there, even though it looks like a bunch of letters. And for some reason, we're talking about sausage and in the chat. Now, I don't know if we're talking about how the sausage is made or if we're talking about some Jimmy Dean pure pork sausage, but I'm all about the morning sausage. Did I really say that? You know what I mean. Jimmy Dean, baby, Jimmy Dean. All right. And no, I like just the regular. No sage, no spicy, no maple. Just give me the, and burn it. Burn it too. Okay, I'm on the over with the Ravens and the Cowboys. And that one, I've got that. Now that's one I've got the over on. All right, here we go. 49ers and Rams. Big time concerns here. Injuries all over the place for this mess of a game. What should be a fun, good game with the Rams kind of making some strides, keeping those hot receivers, but they all got hurt now. And the 49ers have all kinds of injuries too coming in. They looked kind of funky in their loss to Minnesota. Hey, we had Minnesota last week. We saw, maybe a little bit coming. And, the Niners just aren't clutch yet right now. But I don't know. I think now here in this game, you're going to be expecting Stafford. That's just how old, I'm the Goff Stafford thing. Stafford and Purdy to kind of, carry the teams a little bit. I don't even know if they can get going on the ground here necessarily. The Rams gave up big-time yards to Arizona last week. So, yeah, we've got guys out. We've got key players out on both teams, some of the best offensive talent actually in the league. But I still think the modus operandi is going to be to throw the ball with the two quarterbacks here. I don't know if they can establish anything right now. We'll see, certainly, but I don't know. Rams have gone under their team total in both games so far. I just think here a division game where even if it doesn't go over, which I don't know, I think the total there kind of is just too low, actually, even with these two teams. I know all the players are out. I get that. But I would think the philosophy here is what's going to carry the game as a higher scoring game. And I also think that you got a division game, you got a home underdog division game where maybe there's going to be some volatility because the 49ers should be the much better team now at this point with the players missing. Maybe that even ensures their strength over the Rams, but it is still a division game. So I'm taking the Rams plus the points at 6 here. There's 6.5 at some square books for sure in this one. But for me, I'm going to take the Rams plus the points as my play here on the morning steam. That's the way I'm playing it. See what you guys, anything here, Rams and Niners. Trey might be going under in this one. And want to say hello to Kelly in the chat as well. There's our Tomps with the under. I think Thomas is here on the Rams. Kelly says, take Purdy to outgain Stafford in the passing department. And Rams are, Thomas will take the points here with the Rams. Justin says this is it for the Rams. I mean, you don't have Cup, you don't have Nakua. That's really going to downgrade the team. They've already been trying to, keep the defense going a little bit, dwindling over the last couple of seasons. So, all right. Kelly says they'll get to him here. And Saturated says this is it. This is a great spot here for the Niners today, even without and their offense, Rams offensive line, big time problems here, but so do the Niners have some issues as well. And all right, wine time's here today. Great show yesterday, wine time with that. Sorry about those morning games being blowouts yesterday, but I was watching you guys and, couldn't have picked a different game. They were all kind of blowouts. When the best game was like the Charlotte game or something, we were in trouble. All right. And I think that's it with you guys in the day games here. We got one game at night, and it's a good one. Let's take a look here. The Chiefs and the Falcons. With the Chiefs here, field goal favorite against the resurgent Falcons. I was on the show the other night, right? Talking about the Falcons game. The other night with that dramatic win, everyone bashing, and I just kept my mouth quiet. I was sitting there taking it on the chin, going to be a loss for me or whatever. I had the under. It was an automatic winner, but I was on the Falcons pretty much, and everyone was kind of celebrating the game, and wasn't yelling at everybody else because I won the bet and they all lost it. It wasn't even what it was about. It was about them kind of disrespecting Cousins, right? Because he's not Mr. Primetime. We get that. The thing about Cousins is he's played on the second best team in all those primetime games pretty much, right? He's always kind of been the also-ran a little bit up against top-notch quarterbacks. And he's gotten some gunslinging moments, right? He racks up the numbers and doesn't get the win. But he still is 29th come from behind victory in his career. Who else? Yeah, you got all these other goofball quarterbacks out there, and you got Kirk Cousins. And, I yelled at those guys. I said, you like that? You like that? And the old Kirk Cousins meme, because that's what he does, right? I mean, there was no doubt. Once that first one was, you knew they were going right down the field on those guys. So that was what it was about. I don't think I was saying anything that they didn't probably already know. Those guys are all experts, and I know they've seen it before with Kirk Cousins, but it's just easy to look at the trends sometimes. And it was a great shootout. It was a great game. Could have went either way, obviously there. Chiefs 2-0, going on the road. This is the NFL. We've seen it before. Falcons, maybe a little bit of resurgence. Maybe Morris is the right answer here to bring a coach back that maybe got the, raw deal the first time to a certain extent. Now, the Falcons, look, they had to do it with a miracle in that game, scoring 5 of the last 6 possessions in that game. But, to me, when you got a 2-0 team, these Chiefs are always that team, aren't they? The team that just when you think they're, going to roll through the whole schedule, this one, we're mailing it in a little bit. We're the Chiefs. We'll still be there in the end. We got it. How come we're not the home field every time, right? So 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone over. Another interconference game, though, and I'm going to be on the under in this one. Prime time unders, blah, blah, blah. Chiefs, sure, they're great. We know that. Mahomes, he's the best. Chiefs are a dead solid under. We know that, especially in the second half. A monster trend to the under in the second half, dating back to last season, practically every game but 1 or 2 here. Actually, the last couple, they've had some overs here of late in the second half. Maybe that won't continue. Maybe we'll get super Mahomes here and, get away from the drama of being at home or whatever. But I got to think the Falcons got a big chance here to at least hang in this game, maybe make it exciting again with Captain Kirk and Mahomes in this one. Maybe the Chiefs are that, just like I said about the Lions, right? This should be the much better team on the road. But again, Chiefs 2-0 right now, Lions 1-1, and you know how it works in this league, guys. It really is. Nobody does 3 of anything very often, right? Even the worst teams sometimes. And maybe I don't want to throw in these clunkers, but the mediocre teams, I think the Falcons are in that group, right? You just don't lose 3 in a row. 3 in a row in this league here a little bit. And this is old prime time, home underdog, prime time unders. So pretty stale maybe there, but I'll take the under as my play in this game at 46. All right, you guys got any plays here? Maybe the Chiefs will be a consensus play here. Thomas says, it's Kansas. Come on. The Falcons. Here, our Tom says, take the Falcons. Trap God says, roll with the under. And, yeah, Satry, how long can he continue to be the greatest? But again, it almost seems like he gets bored sometimes, doesn't it? And has to pull it out. And then sometimes he walks off the field with some disappointment once in a while. Chiefs and under here for Dre. And Atlanta on the points here. Thomas, I mean, I'm going to get the new iPhone. I'm just going to wait for the bugs. I'm sure, it's all brand new. And they keep sending me the thing. You can get the new iPhone. You're all paid up on your phone. You've had this one since the pandemic. So I think it's time for a new phone. Head on over to Winnable and get my packages in case I don't nail this card today. Pay for a new phone. You only pay a few dollars because of the way they. Okay. Falcons here with Justin. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't hang out across the street with the Falcons. They even had to tell me what it was about, but I have to say Falcons here. Cousins going over his passing yards. Bijan with an ATD. Let's go Falcons, says Oldie. Pitts with an ATD as well. And KC gives up the gooch to tight ends. I like that. I like that. All right. And it could happen tonight, Oldie. It really could. All right. There's no doubt the Chiefs are much better. This is the NFL. Okay, here we go. And let's see. Justin says the Chiefs are winning, so bet them and win your money. Oh, let me see. Oh, he says the Chiefs are winning it all. They'll come back and do it again, but this is the script. Who has that show on YouTube called The Script? That's a great idea. A great name for the show. I wish I knew. I know. Okay, here's the Fernando with the play on the Bills over. That's it for NFL here. Let's get to some baseball, guys. We got to get out of here. We got 15 minutes. Let's just roll through them. Apologize for yesterday. I don't feel like the baseball was very good at all, so we'll try to take it easy here a little bit. I think my baseball pack is probably going to get sent out as part of the free subscription. So just didn't seem to with all the football. We had a winner. We had one winner, I think. Steam coming in right now in the Toronto Blue Jays in that game with the Rays. I don't have that one set out as a previewed game, but I actually like that actually. So let me give it out right now. Like the Blue Jays here against the Rays today with Bassett going up against my man Shane Baz. All right, here we go. Twin. This is a doubleheader. The Twin. You got to be in the playoffs to make the preview here today, or alive in the playoffs. I mean, Twins and Red Sox here in this one. With this early start, they're playing a little doubleheader here today because of the rain out yesterday. So we're supposed to have Lopez and Pavetta at 12:35, 9:35 here in this one. And we've already seen. Let me see that we mentioned the steam here. We're not gonna dive into the trends and stuff too much, gang. Let me just give out some plays. Actually, here is Thomas on the Red Sox on the run line here today. Trey wants to go over here. I'm going with the Twins actually in game one with Lopez. Maybe we can just at least keep you up to date on who's pitching, their stats a little bit. But I'm kind of throwing out a lot of not adhering to as many trends in the last days of the season here. So you know how to bet these games a little bit. This is just wrapping up the string here. There's a few important games here. Here's an under in the first 5. Fernando will lay it. Justin says Red Sox to smash in this one. Let's see. What is he saying, though? Okay. Stacks. All right. And let's take a look here at the Tigers taking on the Orioles. Seen a move here to the under already. Right now it's still at 8.5 here. I think Madden is the opener here for the Tigers in this one. And I'm going to take the under here with Detroit and Baltimore here. Yeah, Baltimore did me dirty right now and cost me a nice 6-team division winners parlay here, but they're done now. They're not going to get there. They obviously didn't get there, so no problem in that one. But I'll take the under here with the Tigers and the Orioles. Tigers still desperate right now. Got to keep winning. And I'm sure that'll put a lot of people on them. Pressure's on the Tigers here. Currently a half a game behind Minnesota in that exciting American League race. Remember, the Royals just a half a game ahead, and the Mariners 1.5 back of third place. You basically have 4 teams for 2 spots over the next 4 days. This is a big, huge game right here. I have the under with the Tigers and the O's. All right, I'll get your plays in here too. I'll whip them up there on screen a little bit. Tigers here. And keep it rolling here right now. Braves and Marlins in this one. The Braves are 2 games out right now. This is a huge game. They need to win. It's actually, they almost need to win and need help here at this point. 2 games behind the Mets. Right now, it does feel like they are on the outside looking in, going up against the Marlins here. So going to have to probably lay a run line if you want to take it today with the Braves and the Marlins. I'm scared. I'm just going to take the under. I don't want this price. I think there's too much built into people just wanting to tack the Braves on into some parlays here on a Sunday and can't go with this price at all, despite how desperate the Braves are here. Just give me the under here at 8.5 as a play. I want to have a play in the games here, certainly. All right, keep it moving right now with baseball a little bit with Thomas on the over there, Fernando with the Braves run line, and Dre with the over. Diamondbacks and Brewers in this one. I'm going to take the under here in this one. Diamondbacks are looking pretty comfortable here right now. Yeah, they're only up a game on those two spots, but again, they'd have to fall behind both the Mets and the Braves here. So I think that's kind of the key right now. Diamondbacks in a pretty good position in this one. Pretty much a toss up here. Brewers a slight favorite with Frankie Montas on the mound. Total though 8.5. Under 8.5 here. It says 9 under 20 on the screen. But boy, yeah, I better just at least put 8 under because I mean 8 point. I'll call it 8/20 because I'm actually seeing some eights out there right now on this one. I'm on the under, but all of a sudden, any value, there's no value here, but I've got an under with the Diamondbacks. I got a lot of unders today, actually. Here's Darren on Arizona. Thomas might be on the over here in this one. Next up, Angels and Astros. The Astros look like they mean business here right now in their situation. Yeah, I think I tried to get cute there with the Angels yesterday, but uh, no need here. Look, Astros, look, everything's fine with them, but it looks like just on the home drive here, feels like right now. But they have very little, nothing to play for, quite frankly. I would think, yeah, they're in a little bit of a they're not even in a playoff tussle with anybody, it feels like right now. But man, they really squelched them yesterday. So there was steam on the Angels here with Griffin Canning. So I got to respect that. I'm just going to take the another under here with the Angels and the Astros today. Do get a little bit of breaking news here. The Detroit Tigers will start Holton, the left-hander, right now. Also Toronto. Maybe this is what we saw with the move. I know I gave out Toronto. Burr is going to be the starter. He is an opener there. Burr is going for Toronto. Holton, the left-hander for Detroit. These guys are not, long starters, that's for sure. Getting some steam here right now with the game that I'm going to give out in the WNBA, Indiana and Connecticut. The game is getting steamed to the over right now, up over 164, 164 and a half. I like the over in the game between Indiana and Connecticut. We'll talk WNBA in just a moment. I did also see the steam come rolling in moments ago on Phoenix and Minnesota under in that game. Phoenix and Minnesota steam was on the under. I don't know. I really think Phoenix. I guess I don't know if Phoenix can play any defense against Minnesota today, but steam coming in on the under. All right. Anyways, we're talking baseball here, and I'm on a lot of unders. That's for sure. And here's a consensus play. It looks like Astros on the run line. Says Thomas. Okay. And let's get a few more here with Justin says he has to be on it. He has to be on it if it's a consensus. Fernando's on the over. And think that's it for that one. We're going to keep this rolling here. Giants and the Royals. Not a great game here. A lot of support, a lot of public support, a lot of handicapper support, it feels like, because of Snell here, I would think. But I don't want any part of that. I want the Royals and Lugo here for sure. I'm not into Snell at this point here in this one. And I want the Royals. I know that Blake Snell, good for you guys. The Royals here in their situation is a little bit of a balancing act. Certainly, they're trying to stay a little bit ahead here of the Seattle Mariners in the wild card situation. Should be fine here, but I'm still going to take the Royals here today. I probably go under. Public's all over the under. The handicappers are on the under. This one probably is going to. It's still juiced to the over, and I'm showing 8. This one probably going to get in the package here today, I would think. Guardians and Cardinals with Williams and Palante here in this one. And I guess I've got another under here, it feels like, but this one's much lower than the other Right now I'm showing 7.5s pretty much everywhere here in this one. I don't know if I want the Cardinals. I know I tried to go with them yesterday, but that was a I think a different. I felt like it was a different situation. I might prefer the Guardians here in this one, but I'm going to take the under 7.5 as my play. All my models kind of pointing more towards a 7 here. It feels like right now. See what else we got here. I might have missed some of your plays. Thomas was on Kansas City. We're going kind of fast here to get this show over with here a little bit. And Ray is going here on the under. Okay. Next up, a few more baseball games here. Mariners, they still are alive, so we got to include the Mariners right now. I think they probably can take this one down too with Woo looking really good here at this point. But let me take an under here. I think probably going to go with Woo maybe as a pre-play. I'll send it out here. Just want to make sure. But under is going to be my play. We're at a 7.5, juice to the over with Woo and Haney going in this one. So that's going to be good enough for me, I would think. Woo's been pretty awesome here. We've kind of been following him all season. 2.86 ERA currently. Has gone over in 12 of 18 starts. 12 of 18 decisions anyway, but I'm going to take the under here. Mariners and Angels, I got under in every game, it feels like. All right, here, let's see. Noli's here, and I've got unders in every game. The timing is perfect today with Noli stopping by. Mariners first 5 and under here for Darren. Next up, Yankees taking on the A's, and another where the I tried to get cute with the A's, but the Yankees feel like they're kind of in that late push here right now as well. They do have a little bit more going on here, obviously, in their battle with Cleveland to shut things down. So widely reported steam did come in on the over here, and that's probably going to keep me off and under here in this one with Gill going up against Estes. So I'm going to take the Yankees on the run line in this one. For Gill, he's got 3.14 ERA this season, and the Yankees are 18-9 with Gill on the mound. So give me the Yankees here on a run line today in this one. Noli here, this is good because we didn't cover this game. You got Skeens up against Green. Widely reported steam came on the under. So how about it? Noli knows, one of the legends in this space here. King of the unders, making unders great again. Noli knows says go under with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Thanks, Noli. We didn't preview that game today because I kicked all the teams out of the preview that if you're not alive in the playoffs. Yankees here, maybe run line for Thomas as well. Next up, a few more here. Rockies taking on the Dodgers. And, well, this is what I said. And maybe this is it, me and Noli right now. A little bit of business to take care of between Noli and I. The Padres control their destiny at this point. If they win the next 4 games, including those last 3 over the Dodgers, they will be the division champions. First things first for the Dodgers. They have to win this one as well here with the Dodgers going up against Sensatella and the Rockies in this one. We've already seen massive steam here. I don't even think it's 335. It's probably even higher than that. 370, 380, probably getting to $4 at DraftKings. So going to have to grab the Rockies here for sure. Plus 1.5, plus 2, plus 2.5, plus 3. Probably load up a little bit on the Rockies here in this one. Yamamoto, look, the steam came in on the Dodgers, of course. Everyone's going to tie them in with their parlays today. I get that steam also came in on the under here in this one. Also, seeing some steam on tomorrow night's game right now in the NFL. Washington and Cincinnati going under 47 now, looks like, in the Commanders and the Bengals tomorrow night. We're getting some steam on that one. All right, a few more, and we got to get the WNBA, and then we're out of here. I'm taking the Rockies here on the run line. Padres and White Sox here in this one. Same thing. Padres just win 4 games, win the division. Nothing the Dodgers can do. Even if the Dodgers win today, if they don't beat the Padres in one of those games, they're not going to win the division. So it'll come down to those 3 games here possibly in this one. All right, gang. I'm going to have to wrap it up, I'm afraid. I've got a minor emergency here, it looks like. So please stand by. I'm going to give you my WNBA plays here real quick, or the show is going to be over. So, all right, here we go with the plays in the WNBA, and then we're out of here. I'm taking the New York Liberty here. They just got steamed moments ago at 12 and a half. So, I'm on the Liberty here. Here is next up. Sorry about this, gang. Indy and Connecticut is going to be the over here in this one. Just got steamed. I was already on the over. Fever and Sun over. Also, Phoenix and Minnesota. I'm on Minnesota here to rock the Mercury. Probably take them out in 2 games easy. And I'm taking Minnesota here as the play. And also, last but not least, I am on Seattle here, plus the points in the 4-5 game, mind you. Big points here. I've got a premium play out there. I got to go. Don't worry about me. It's a minor situation, but I do got to cut this off right now. I'm afraid. I love you guys. And thank you for understanding here in this one. I'm going to have to sign off, though, real quick. So for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. Be sure. I'll be here tomorrow. No problems. 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And everything's cool. Just got a real run here real quick. I'm fine. Believe me. So thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you tomorrow morning, Steve. Thank you.